Imagine a world where the pulsing beats of rock and disco were more than music. They were rebellion, freedom, and hope. In the Soviet Union, Western music was seen as a dangerous threat to communist ideals, banned or censored to the point of erasure. But where there was a will, there was a way. This is the story of the underground DJs who defied the Iron Curtain, smuggling forbidden melodies into Soviet cities and creating makeshift records on X-ray film. It's a tale of courage, creativity, and the unyielding human spirit. The USSR of the 1960s and 70s was a land of silence when it came to Western rock, jazz, and disco. The state-run Melodia label churned out patriotic marches and folk songs, but the youth craved the sounds of Elvis, the Beatles, and ABBA. Enter Dmitry, a music enthusiast from Leningrad, who stumbled across Western records while working at the docks. Like many others, Dmitry decided to take a risk, bringing these records into the country. Dmitry's method was bold. Dock workers like him would hide records in cargo shipments or bribe foreign sailors to trade vinyl for local goods. Once inside the USSR, the records couldn't be sold openly. Instead, Dmitry connected with underground DJs who knew how to replicate the music, but how to duplicate these treasures without access to professional equipment or materials. That's where Soviet ingenuity came into play. In a cramped Leningrad basement, Dmitry met Anya, an underground DJ and a medical technician by trade. Anya had perfected a method of recording music onto old X-ray film. Dubbed bones or ribs by enthusiasts, these makeshift records bore ghostly images of skeletons. Anya showed Dmitry her process. Using a converted phonograph, she etched grooves onto the film, creating bootleg records that could play on Soviet turntables. The eerie images of ribs and skulls added a touch of defiance to the contrabanding artistic middle finger to Soviet censorship. These bone records found their way into secret dance clubs hidden in apartments and basements. Anya, now jing under the pseudonym DJs, would spin forbidden tracks like the Rolling Stones' Satisfaction and Donna Summer's I Feel Love. Attendees whispered the location of these secret parties, and they arrived in layers of clothing to disguise their intent. Beneath the outerwear were bold Western-inspired outfits, shimmering in defiance of Soviet conformity. Dmitry often attended these gatherings, marveling at the sight of young Soviets losing themselves in the music, their feet moving to rhythms the government couldn't control. The stakes were high. Soviet authorities viewed Western music as ideological subversion. Those caught smuggling or distributing it faced harsh penalties, fines, imprisonment, or worse. Anya once narrowly avoided arrest when a neighbor reported unusual noises in her apartment. But the risk was worth it. The underground music scene offered not just entertainment, but a lifeline to the outside world, a glimpse of freedom through the power of sound. By the late 1980s, with glasnost and pure Ristrika loosening restrictions, the music that Anya and Dmitry risked so much to share began to pour in legally. But the memory of those bone records and secret discos remains a cherished piece of history for those who lived it. Anya and Dmitry's story is just one among countless others who kept the beat alive in a time of silence. The underground DJs of the USSR weren't just music lovers, they were revolutionaries of culture, smuggling hope into a world of repression, one beat at a time. Do you have a favorite piece of banned or censored art? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more stories of resilience and defiance.